We feel compassion towards people, from people. We feel cared for, and we feel caring. We're curious, we want to understand, we want to know, we want to explore. We feel courageous. We feel like we can do something big. Maybe we can do anything. We feel calm, we feel at peace, we don't feel stressed. We feel confident. We know who we are. This is so good. I can almost guarantee that anything on the list of what is it that we feel in our communities when we feel most alive, most positive, would fit one of those categories. And without reading what could be achieved with this community, I can almost guarantee that when you feel positive and alive in your community, what you feel like you can achieve is far more than what you would have imagined on your own, or when you're not feeling good about your community, when you're not feeling like you belong. Christine, do you want to just read a few? Yeah, summarize them briefly.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Simon Greger. I teach community development. And we have quite a number of voices on my chest here. The question, the elements that are present that made you feel this way, there is an aspect of communication, was intense, where people are present in various committees, when people would come together and pool resources. And we have situations where people share joy and love, and also people share the experiences in their communities. And what is reflected is that those elements were done when people were coming together. And there is also an aspect of shared challenges. We are talking about basic amenities like water. An aspect of lack of food is also reflected. The challenge of poverty, the challenge of education is also mentioned, and also generally the issue of improved livelihoods and initiatives that surround those issues. Thank you.
Can you summarize what did you achieve?
Okay. Good morning. My name is Dr. Wango. I teach Kiswahili. Some of the things that we would have achieved with the community, it is to bring about cohesion, as is expressed. Then we would also achieve mobilizing the ability to mobilize the resources so that we can get water, food, and nutrition. Also, eradicating excessive dripping of alcohol, as it is said. Also, build the hospitals. There was also another voice to empower the youth, to achieve the empowerment of the youth. Also promote innovation. There's also another voice about strengthening unity, build capacity among the community members, also bring about equity, bring about equality, among others.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so what I heard was what we can achieve with our communities. We can experience love and peace and joy, and we can take on our challenges. Yes, now. That's the Flourishing Community Model Masterclass. But you see it. You see what they are trying to do with our intervention, with the model, with the FCM. And we want to invite anyone to come alongside and take the model and apply it right there.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much. So, kindly let's applaud